Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Anita Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up, Tzu Chi Foundation's first disaster survey and medical team carries out its first free clinic in Nepal. With the help of the Indonesian National Armed Forces, Tzu Chi Indonesia delivered much-needed relief items to quake survivors in Nepal. Lastly, Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan visit students of Neipu Junior High in Pingtung ahead of Mother's Day. On their third day in Nepal, Tzu Chi's disaster survey and medical team split into two groups to carry out disaster assessments and medical services. After obtaining permission from the Ministry of Health and Population in Nepal, doctors carried out a free clinic in Bhaktapur city.
With a small table with bottles of medicine, two superintendents of Tzu Chi hospitals and their doctor's coat begin their medical service. This free clinic in Bhaktapur, a city 15 minutes drive away from the capital of Nepal, Kathmandu. Upon learning of the free clinic, in just 30 minutes, more than 30 quake survivors showed up. Doctors dressed quake survivors' wounds with extra attentiveness. Besides treating the physical wounds, doctors also eased anxious hearts.
With us tending to their wounds, I believe these quake survivors will feel much better. We even told them to come back 2 days later if they need to remove their stitches.
After receiving permission from the Ministry of Health and Population in Nepal, 3 days following their arrival, Tzu Chi's disaster survey and medical team split into two teams to conduct disaster assessments and free clinics. While some of the doctors carried out medical services at a care center, the rest of the team travels to two other hard-hit areas, including Bhaktapur and Kavri, which is located an hour's drive away from Kathmandu.
The doctors and nurses here are really welcoming. We can provide this hospital with medical supplies that they lack from Taiwan. Vice versa, they can provide us with basic medical items that we need. I think this is a great opportunity for us to work hand in hand.
Local medical personnel also take the initiative to join the free clinic. Despite the dire situation, everyone is united with the goal of relieving the pain and discomfort of injured quake survivors.
As most quake survivors in Nepal suffer fractures, they will need orthopedic implants and surgery in order to fully recover. Thus, Tzu Chi hospitals in Taiwan have come together to form another team of doctors that will head to Nepal, carrying all the implants and equipment they can muster within this short period of time. As soon as Tzu Chi's first disaster survey and medical team arrived in Nepal, it immediately began visiting local hospitals and discovered that most survivors were in need of orthopedic surgery.
The report from the survey team indicates the need for orthopedic surgery, and thus all of our orthopedic surgeons from all of our hospitals have mobilized.
The new orthopedic team going to Nepal will be under the leadership of Deputy Superintendent of Darling Tzu Chi Hospital, Dr. Jian Ruiteng, who immediately began preparation after he heard from Dr. Chen Yinghe in the morning.
Superintendent Jian said that they found 150 to 160 patients in need of orthopedic surgery who currently are only receiving casts and painkillers as treatment. But to really treat their condition, surgery is the only option.
The Taipei hospital is in charge of gathering supplies and equipment. To help those in Nepal while providing for the hospital's patients, the hospital has asked its suppliers to ready bone plates, bone screws, and 2 sets of surgical drills that are worth over $30,000.
To help those in Nepal, we are sending over what we have in stock first, so the patients there can get the treatment they need. As for our own patients, we have asked for resupplies from suppliers.
As the number of casualties continue to rise in Nepal, Tzu Chi and other international rescue teams are doing their best to help, and the new orthopedic team will soon arrive with new supplies to provide proper medical treatment. When the Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter learned of the severity of the earthquake in Nepal, they quickly mobilized to prepare relief items to help. To ensure this aid is delivered to Nepal in the shortest amount of time, the Indonesian National Armed Forces offered their assistance.
At the Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter, Tzu Chi volunteers and representatives of the Indonesian National Armed Forces are having a meeting regarding the shipment of aid to Nepal. This time, the Indonesian National Armed Forces will help the charity organization deliver much-needed relief items to the disaster-torn country.
Tzu Chi's first disaster survey and medical team from Taiwan has already traveled to the disaster zone to survey the needs of quake survivors. The items the country needs the most are orthopedic implants, tents, beds, and food. Although the aircraft can only carry 12 tons of goods, we will try our best to fit in more boxes.
The 12 tons of relief goods include those delivered from Taiwan by China Airlines and boxes of medical supplies, water filters, and plastic floor mats prepared by local Tzu Chi volunteers. On May 1st, these aid supplies will be delivered by the Indonesian National Armed Forces to Nepal with an estimated flying time of 20 hours. The local media also covered the collaboration between the Tzu Chi Foundation and the Indonesian National Armed Forces. The Indonesian National Armed Forces is sending 2 aircrafts, one packed with relief items from the Indonesian government and the other with goods from Tzu Chi. Saving life is the duty of soldiers, and helping the less fortunate is the mission of the Tzu Chi volunteers. By working hand in hand, this team will surely help speed up the relief effort in Nepal.
On May 1st, Nepalese in Taiwan organized a blessing ceremony at Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall in Taipei to show their love and support, as well as pray for their fellow countrymen back home.
I really want to go back to Nepal to help, but I have to stay here to work.
Thinking about his relatives in Nepal, Zhang Xueba can barely hold back his tears. Zhang, who has been working in Taiwan for 12 years, says the tremor interrupted his journey back home to Nepal. To show their love and support, Nepalese and Taiwan, including Zhang, decided to hold a blessing ceremony.
Everyone is shocked and worried because the disaster happened all of a sudden. I really don't know what to do.
After receiving news of the blessing ceremony, Gu Lun, a native of Nepal, quickly contacted his friends in Taiwan.
There aren't that many Nepalese in Taiwan, but we still have a union.
From what I've seen, Nepalese are very easygoing. They don't like to do things according to a schedule. However, when the disaster struck, all of them quickly gathered together.
According to experts, rescue efforts in Nepal have been made even harder as the country lacks many basic facilities. As the strong quake destroyed or damaged many historical sites, the recovery of Nepal's tourism industry will take time.
The tourism industry is well developed in Nepal. However, due to its geography and location, the country lacks basic facilities.
With the assistance of countries across the globe, it is hoped that Nepal and its citizens can regain the strength to walk the long road of recovery.
Tzu Chi's Project Hope is helping 5 schools in Pingtung with renovation work, one of which is Neipu Junior High. Volunteers visit regularly to share the charity's humanistic values with the students and recently held an early Mother's Day celebration at the school.
Students of Pingtung's Neipu Junior High School easily crumbled the aluminum foil in their hands, but restoring it is next to impossible. The lesson is meant to help the students become aware of the danger of drug abuse, for once they start, their health can't go back. Today's event also includes an early Mother's Day celebration.
Today's event taught me to love myself and honor my parents.
孝顺父母。
很谢谢慈济的师兄师姐来。
Thanks to Tzu Chi volunteers for visiting our school and sharing with us the importance of filial piety. I will remember the sharing by the two brothers and learn from them.
Tzu Chi volunteers are not only here to care for the students. Since last year, the Tzu Chi Foundation has helped the school rebuild 28 of its dilapidated classrooms. Currently, work has begun on the second floor.
听到基金会说要为我们盖这个大
When I
楼，
heard that Tzu Chi was coming to build us a new hall that can truly withstand the strong earthquakes of Taiwan, my heart was just warm all over. I'm truly grateful.
The construction is expected to be completed by the end of year, so students may start the new year in new classrooms. And by passing on Tzu Chi's humanistic values through these visits, volunteers also hope to enrich the students' spirit as well.
Across Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers often head out into their communities to teach conservation lessons to the public. Recently, however, children from New Taipei City and Taichung visited their respective Tzu Chi recycling stations to learn more about safeguarding the planet.
These plastic fruit wrappers, normally discarded, are treated like treasure here at the Tzu Chi recycling station.
The waste management service doesn't recycle these, only Tzu Chi does.
A discarded pen can be taken apart, as the metal springs inside can be recycled. Today's students of Yongping High School's middle school division are here to get some hands-on practice on the lessons they've been learning in school.
资源回收在学校里面有
Learning about recycling in school may seem boring. However, by coming here, students can see how practical and close to home the lessons are.
Through sharing what they've learned, the students discover how to apply the message to their own lives.
要的话再买，需要才买，不需要不要乱买。透过环保。
After getting some hands-on experience in recycling, the students can then take these lessons home to share with their family, and then their families can begin to do good deeds as well.
Encouraging all to safeguard planet Earth, Tzu Chi volunteers hope students such as these can help spread recycling practices far and wide. While in New Taipei City, Chishaos are breaking down toys at a recycling station.
All the metal has to be removed. This metal part needs to be taken apart as well.
By participating in this event, the youngsters come to understand how arduous it is being a recycling volunteer.
A toy is made up of many different little parts. It takes a lot of time for us to take apart the smaller items.
One person's strength is limited, but if everyone works together to practice recycling, then the power to protect the environment will become something great.
These Chishaos from Xindian district are here to learn how to better sort their recyclables.
环保真的要从小时候就开始教。
Conservation lessons must be taught at a young age. When they have grown up, they can pass on these ideals to the younger generation. This is how the cycle of compassion continues.
Continuing the cycle of compassion, recycling volunteers know how to help keep the planet clean. Meanwhile, kindergartners from Taichung are learning some conservation ideals from Tzu Chi volunteers.
什么纸业回收？纸从哪里来的？有没有知道？纸从哪里来的？树木，好聪明哦！
After a classroom lesson, kindergartners try their hands at recycling plastic bottles. A rainwater collection model for a house also sparks the children's interest.
屋顶可以回收这个雨水，把它储存起来。
有没有流到管子里面去？
We want our students to learn at a young age how to be kind to the planet. The earth belongs to everyone. Now that it is in danger, we must uphold our responsibility to it.
Also at the Xintian Recycling and Education Station in Taichung, a group of second graders have come for a visit. However, upon entering the station, they immediately pinched their nose against the smell of the unwashed recyclables.
I learned that soda bottles must be rinsed out before recycling. I think the people here will feel they are smelly.
At the end of the day, the students walk away with lessons to help protect the environment and an understanding that they too have a part to play in safeguarding Mother Earth.
In Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteer Tong Mingji's father recently celebrated his 100th birthday. Hence, volunteers from Danshui paid him a special visit to deliver their well wishes. Meanwhile, Wenshan District Tzu Chi volunteers invited students of Taiwan Police College to join them on a visit to a nursing home in Zhonghe, New Taipei City. Old classics being played on the ukulele immediately bring new life to this nursing home.
I think it's great that we got the chance to play the ukulele for the residents here. We want to bring them something different than the usual singing.
The Tzu-chings from Taiwan Police College were somewhat reserved when they first arrived. However, to get the seniors to sing and dance along with them, students gave it their all.
Some of the grandmas and grandpas have trouble moving about. We had to put in extra effort to get them to move a little bit.
When we visited them on previous occasions, some of them were a little shy and quiet. This time we organized interactive games and played songs on the ukulele, and I saw that they were clapping along with us.
Although unrelated, with their warmth and care, these students have shown the seniors that they're just like family.
My grandparents passed away when I was really young, so I rarely had the opportunity to meet seniors who were in their 80s. As I was giving them massages just now, they told me that I was doing a good job, and that made me feel that my efforts have been recognized. I feel really good about that.
These seniors are able to spend their golden years in happiness thanks to the care provided by the nursing home and the love brought by the volunteers. To celebrate Tong Hanren's 100th birthday, Tzu Chi volunteers prepared a simple celebration. There is no greater blessing than good health. The senior son, Tong Mingji, and his daughter-in-law, Ling Liqing, know this well.
I'm so blessed to have him as my father-in-law. Whenever I need to attend Tzu Chi's events, he will tell me to go and not worry about him, as he can manage on his own. So I am able to do Tzu Chi with a peace of mind because of him.
We all need to be encouraged and complimented. Sister Li Qing has really done a tremendous amount.
While delivering their well wishes to the centenarian, Bali district volunteers also got to witness the blessings that come from a peaceful and harmonious family. Over the years, Tzu Chi volunteers have been holding stem cell donor registration drives on a regular basis. In our next report, we joined volunteers in Hsinchu and Taoyuan at their most recent stem cell donor registration drive.
Traveling among communities, Tzu Chi volunteers look to educate the public that donating stem cells can save lives without harming the donor. More than 100 Tzu Chi volunteers gather at the Tianxing Elementary School to encourage members of the public to become potential stem cell donors.
Today is my 18th birthday, and I want to help others. If I'm a matching donor, I would definitely donate my stem cells. I'm so happy to be able to attend this meaningful event.
Zheng Weiren says becoming a possible donor is a birthday gift for himself. To support their brother, Zheng's older sister and younger brother also decided to register with Tzu Chi Stem Cell Center.
Our parents are both certified Tzu Chi volunteers, and they told us about this event. I really hope to become a matching donor and help those in need.
Holding a poster in her hands is Huang Yiting, whose brother was himself a recipient of a stem cell transplant.
It's like racing against the clock. Leukemia can progress quickly, and a person may pass away within months of its onset.
According to the Tzu Chi Stem Cell Center, in March alone, the number of patients searching for a match was 515. Today, more than 40,000 people are in need of a stem cell transplant. As most patients in need of a stem cell transplant are unable to find a match within their families, Tzu Chi volunteers hope to promote this campaign to save lives. Meanwhile, in Hsinchu, Tzu Chi volunteers split into teams to encourage passers-by to register with Tzu Chi Stem Cell Center.
There are many people waiting for us to save them. I think it is great that I can contribute my share to this good cause and perhaps save a life.
Knowing that saving lives cannot wait, local Tzu Chi volunteers and the Taipei Veterans General Hospital's Hsinchu branch joined hands to promote the stem cell donor registration campaign.
If I am lucky enough to become a matching donor, I will try my best to give that person a second chance at life.
If I donate my stem cell, a person might have the chance to start a new life instead of spending his life in a hospital. By donating 10 cc of our blood, we can become a possible donor. This is something that I'm willing to do.
By donating just 10 cc of their blood, donors give Tzu Chi Stem Cell Center another possible match that could turn out to save a life.
Since last year, Tzu Chi volunteers in Turkey have been providing care and humanitarian assistance in response to the Syrian crisis. At the end of April, 2 large-scale distributions were carried out in Sultan Ghazi and Arnavutköy, helping a total of 1,380 Syrian households. Putting out the chairs, adjusting the waiting line, and hanging up the Tzu Chi banner, volunteers are making final preparations prior to the start of their second large distribution in Sultan Ghazi, Turkey.
Through Tzu Chi's We Are One Family sign language song, we hope to let them understand that our care and love is genuine. We truly see them as members of our own family.
Tzu Chi Sign Language song reminds the refugees that they are not alone and that Tzu Chi volunteers will always be by their side.
As I watched you perform the sign language song, I really felt like we are all one family.
This distribution aims to help some 900 families who previously have not received Tzu Chi's aid. However, there were still hundreds of families whose names were not on the list and therefore unable to receive aid.
Which of you are willing to do a good deed and become a happy person? Please raise your hands.
Syrian residents donate what they can into the bamboo coin bank in the hope that their contribution can help relieve the plight of their fellow countrymen. Even more moving is that upon departure, some even donated a portion of their relief supplies.
I know that apart from us, there are many others whose names are not on the list. These brothers and sisters need the aid as much as we do, so we are just contributing a little of our strength to help them.
The act of giving is a manifestation of love, and it is this bond of love that have hearts beaming with hope and gratitude.
At every distribution, we always feel sad when we see that not everyone was able to receive aid. Therefore, we hope that this love from Taiwan can inspire residents to pass this love on to their neighbors.
Countless Syrians' lives have been uprooted by the ruthless war. With their love and smiles, Tzu Chi volunteers have soothed their pain and suffering, becoming their beacon of light during times of despair. With Buddha Day a little over a week away, Tzu Chi volunteers in Singapore organized a small ceremony at the Tzu Chi Free Clinic for their senior care recipients. We leave you with these images at the end of today's program. Have a good weekend.